Good morning. After 1 year of closure of our schools, the time has come for every child in the state of Washington to have access to on-site instruction. And we are now taking action to make sure that every child has that option available to them across the state of Washington. I will be issuing an emergency proclamation that will give every K through 12 student that option for on-site instruction. But we do know that many of our children have not been able to thrive as we wish them to do so without on-site education, without that magic connection that enlightens children when they have access to a tremendous educator in a classroom. For them, we're taking action today, and I'm pleased to do so. More than half of our schools have returned to on-site education, but there are still hundreds of thousands of students who do not have access to that relationship with their teacher in person. Now is the time to provide those students who wish to have that option to be able to access that magic. 1 year ago tomorrow, March 13th, we closed school buildings statewide. Now our state will require schools to offer both in-person instruction for students and families who want it and remote learning options for those who prefer to remain in that situation. By April 5th, all students in grades kindergarten through 6 must have the opportunity to engage in an on-site hybrid model of instruction. And by April 19th, all other K through 12 students must be provided a hybrid model of instruction. In schools that are K through 5, it'll apply through K through 5. By April 19th, every school district will need to have at least 30% of their pre-pandemic average of weekly instructional hours that will be provided in person for all K through 12 students. And under no circumstances will this order allow districts to provide less than 2 days contact per week for their students. Now, these may be partial days, but they need to be in contact in person. Every school district is required to continue efforts to exceed that 30% minimum and must reach the school's maximum capacity and maximum frequency on campus that the school can provide with all safety and safety regulations in place as soon as possible.
The pandemic, as the governor has indicated, has had a profound mental health impact on students, and I think there will be more information about that in the next week or two to really help folks understand, including some guests we have here today that will describe more specifically the impacts that they've observed. What we see in the education system is the effects of isolation. And the trauma of what's happened for a lot of our students. In the form of engagement or student attendance, we are unfortunately at every grade level seeing impacts, but especially middle school and high school, where we take a 3-year look every January for the last 3 years and see that attendance, full day of absence, additional absence this year, a spike we have never seen. You extrapolate that over the duration of a school year, you're talking about 9 or 10 more days of absence. For the typical middle school student or more, and a very similar pattern in high school. As a result, academically, students are struggling as well. We're seeing D's, F's, incompletes, and no credits up this year, and specifically students who are F, incompletes, or no credits at the high school system. We see a significant jump there. Unfortunately, it's from 17% of all of our students receiving one of those designations in at least one class to 25%. So 1 out of every 4 students in the state of Washington is not getting high school credit for 1 or more classes. And that is a near 50% jump from what we would see in a typical year. It is disproportionate for our American Indian, Alaska Native youth. It is disproportionate for Hispanic, Latino, Latinx students. It is disproportionate for Native Hawaiian and other Pacific Islanders, low-income students, English language learners, those students who experience homelessness, and others. Big jumps in some of those student groups. This is the time for us to double down. The governor, through his leadership, the president, through his, has made more ubiquitous vaccination. We are thousands of educators and staff members into vaccination now with an incredible ramp up that's occurring. Every day the science is being reviewed, and as the governor indicated, as those non-pharmaceutical interventions are now met with injections of vaccine into the arms of our Washington education staff members, the opportunity to open more expeditiously is upon us right now.